Alright. I am gonna start, I just have to make sure the volume is like, I'm gonna leave the music on. I just want it to be like, you can hear it, but it's not overpowering. So let me know how the volume is, anybody who feels like telling me. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and move to... Oh, Slay. Glad to hear it. It might get louder for a second, just because I'm switching scenes. Okay, it didn't. Good. Anyway, so here's my drawing setup. I'm gonna go over a few things before I start drawing. One, I will take requests, but first I'm gonna draw for myself. So I'm gonna draw something first, and then you can just like pepper in if you want me to do something, I'll do it. It's fine. Second, don't ask me for brushes. I don't know if people do this anymore, but it used to be a thing. Like, you'd see a drawing you like, and like, naive younger artists will, and myself, I've done this too, will be like, oh my god, what brush did you use? Because you think the brush is gonna like solve your artistic problems. So the long and short of it is, like, don't ask me for brushes. Not because I don't want to help, it's mostly because I don't know how to export brushes. But also, like, just don't. Just don't. It's fine. You are a perfect artist without whatever brush I'm using. I've also listed on the side my tools that I'm using. Clip Studio Paint. I did purchase this, so it's Clip Studio Paint Pro. Honestly, big recommend. Love this program. I went from, here's me aging myself, but I went from Easy Paint Tool Sci to this. And technically, before Easy Paint Tool Sci, I was using, like, Photoshop, like a cracked version of Photoshop CS2. So this is Paint Tool Sci, or, this is not Paint Tool Sci, this is Clip Studio Paint. And I, have been using it for quite some time now. Probably, like, 10-ish years, maybe. And right now I'm using an XP Pen 13.3 Pro screen tablet. They're about $200 on Amazon on a good day. Honestly, highly, highly recommend it. If you're a digital artist who uses like a traditional tablet, like the just like mouse tablet, I don't know what else to call them, because tablet means so many different things. But anyway, XP Pen makes a really good affordable pen and screen tablet. So anyway, I can start doing whatever I'm gonna do. Typically my go-to is a 5,000 by 5,000 pixel screen, and I just like fuck around and see what happens. Yeah, I've been loving the screen tablet. It's been super, super good, like, since I'm borrowing it, but I've really liked using it. So, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw my character Metalhead, because he is a fan favorite, and also I like him. So I'm gonna draw him to just kind of get warmed up. He's a character that honestly has a really interesting history to me. Because he originated for me, like, I made him in, Champions Online, like, as a Champions Online character. And, I mean, honestly, I was not really expecting him to be, like, a mainstay character of mine. But I just like drawing him so much, like, he's just so fun to draw. And I've, like, really changed up his design a lot since the Champions Online days. So, you know, I don't really have anything planned with him anymore. Like, he has, like, a setting, with other characters involved, but, like, I truly don't know what I'm doing with it. So I've just kind of let it go. As like, if something happens with it, then cool. But like, I'm not planning any like big projects or anything like that, if that makes sense. But I'm never planning anything. I just kind of do shit. And something you'll notice about watching me draw is I draw really big for some reason. Like, not just having a big canvas. Like, I know a lot of people who work on big canvases and they draw small. Not me. I draw super fucking big and I don't know why. So I will often be, like, scaling things down. And, like, moving stuff around. But, like, that's not that weird, is it? Like, I don't think it's weird. I think I'm normal. Disclaimer, I'm probably not normal. So, anyway. Metalhead is a character, that... So, his whole thing is that, like, he's in, like, a rock band, like a sci-fi rock band. So he's kind of got that, like, punk thing going on. He's obviously, like, pretty heavily Bowser-inspired. I feel like the best way to describe this character is he's, like, a combination of Bowser and Soul Bad Guy in terms of, like, his design and personality. Like, he's kind of, like, he's not a mean guy, but he's not, like, a nice guy either. And that's, like, kind of how I see Soul. And same with Bowser to a certain degree. He is also, like, incredibly jacked. He's, like, partially a pro wrestler. I haven't, like, fully committed to that aspect of his character anymore. But, yeah, he's kind of got that, like, shirtless thing going on. So warning, if a shirtless boy scares you, which I understand, then for right now, this is not the stream for you. I would love to hear somebody admit that they are scared of shirtless men, like, in the context of a drawing. But, yeah, anyway, I'm just being silly. So, the way that I typically approach drawing, is you'll see I do, like, sometimes this is a pretty clean sketch, all things considered. If I pulled up older works, or just, like, things that I'm working on quickly, I definitely don't always sketch this clean. But my sketching, personally, like, I feel like I've gotten a lot better at sketching clean since moving to the screen tablet. Literally, like, I swear, this thing is, like, such an upgrade to what I was using before. And my prior tablet was, like, not even bad. This one is just, like, so good. So here I am drawing too big again. Like, again, this is a 5,000 by 5,000 pixel canvas, and I'm, like, drawing this big. Like, this is pretty big. See that I don't really like this perspective, so I'm gonna scoot this down a bit. But yeah, like, I am not a very clean sketcher. I just kind of, if I understand what I'm trying to say in the illustration, like in the sketch form, then that's good enough for me, because then I can just go from there. So it's actually really, like, unusual for me to be, like, sharing the sketch phase, because I often don't, because to be honest, I feel like I'm a little self-conscious of the way that I sketch. Because it can be so sloppy. But I started to learn that that's, like, really just not uncommon with artists. To just, like, kind of have really sketchy, really sketchy sketches. Yeah, really, messy sketches. So I'm no exception to that, but for this particular sketch, I think I'm just, like, so familiar with my character that I am drawing him very clean. But should I fulfill anybody's wishes, I may not sketch as cleanly as this, just disclaimer. I cannot make any promises. But I'll try and clean up my pictures as good as I can. I do intend to do at least one full illustration, and which for me does not mean a background necessarily. I'm a little phobic of backgrounds. Which is, like, something that I've wanted to work on for a long time, but I just, like, I don't know. I haven't really given it the time of day. Oh, and also, so right now I'm playing my video game music soundtracks, or playlist rather. Video game soundtrack playlist. That's how I want to say that. Um, and you may hear a song that you know from a game that you know, and I will tell you that does not necessarily mean that I've played it. So don't think that I'm like cool for having like Mega Man Zero music on here, because I truthfully have I've really not given the Zero games much time. I did play the first of Mega Man Zero, and I thought it was too hard, and I put it down. It just like wasn't really what I was looking for. And like, I don't know. Oh my god, not the Soul Calibur music. I will be surprised by songs on here. I have been building this playlist, like, honestly, since I created a YouTube account, which this account, like, that I'm using, is, like, 10 plus years old. So, just bear that in mind. Anyway, so, I don't know exactly what I want to do with him. And, like, forgive me if I don't actually yap the entire time. I'm sure nobody would complain. But I'm hoping that the music is loud enough that if I kind of leave an awkward silence, it doesn't feel that weird. But, again, like, let me know if it's weird. And I will hum songs. Sorry if that bothers you. Like, I get why it bothers people, because, like, you're trying to listen to the song, you don't need to hear, like, somebody else's humming of it. But, like, brother, I can't help it. Not whenever I'm, like, in this particular setting. What do I want to do with his hand? I might have to change his expression up if I'm going to go this angle with his fingers. Because I feel like this is like a very... He should be doing something a little bit more. And he does have, like, stupid big hands and all of that stuff. That's just the sort of guy he is. I will say, like, from the perspective of being... like a woman who likes women, I've very much designed this character to be my definition of a man who I think is like sexy. So I don't know like what that may say about me based off of this guy's design. But that was kind of my angle. Is like I wanted to make what I would consider an attractive man, as like an animal guy. So maybe I've succeeded. I don't know. People seem to like him, so I've assumed that I've succeeded at something. Which is good to know. At some point I may see if my friends are okay with me joining their chat. I don't want to be burdensome, but... it's also sometimes fun to draw with company, because you can kind of have those conversations get carried a little easier instead of like me trying to talk to myself. Definitely gonna do something different with his legs. I think he needs to be a little bit more stanced, not gonna lie. Drawing with friends is fun. I think that I should do more draw piles, to be completely honest. Also, I have no idea why this playlist is giving me so much 14 music. Like, I love 14, but there are a lot of varieties on this playlist, so it's a little bit funny that it's just, like, giving me a lot of 14. Although, again, to my defense, there is a lot of good music in 14. But I do need to do more, like, draw piles and, like, community drawing stuff. I'm, like, always down to do it. I just think, like, not everybody really is. I think some people are more self-conscious about their art than others, which I get. I wouldn't exactly call myself confident in my art. But I think that I've, like, come a long way from where I've been, like, with myself and my own, like, ability to draw. To the point where, like, this isn't necessarily the sort of guy that I would draw for normies. But I am comfortable drawing for normies. I'm gonna make his head a little bit bigger. He's got kind of cartoon man proportions. Like, he's a little bit exaggerated. And I, like, have drawn, like, obviously I've drawn a lot of, like, professional non-furry stuff. Oh, I don't like this tangent. And you're not gonna, like, you will not really hear me throwing art words around. I technically have a degree in graphic design. I technically have an art degree. That doesn't mean that I know anything. I mostly know nothing. Another fair warning. If you hear the USB connect and disconnect, or, yeah, like, reconnect noise, that's just my screen tablet unplugging because the cord is loose. And that's not really my fault because I'm not the owner of this screen tablet. But that's the owner's business to get a better cable, I think. I'm not going to do it. It just, like, kind of unplugs itself sometimes and you have to reset it. Yeah, I'm gonna redo his face. Okay, so here's something that I do sometimes whenever I sketch. When I like the way something looks, but it's not necessarily what I want to commit to for this piece, I am going to just, like, straight up lasso delete it and save it for later. And sometimes I'll even do one of these, where I kind of leave it there, and lower the opacity of the layer, just to kind of, like, here's what I had, here's, like, kind of the proportions I'm working with, but I want his, like, expression to be possibly completely different. Let me think. I actually think I kind of want it facing this way. And this is where you may see some of my sloppier sketches, because I'm not really committing to this yet. So I don't really know, like, what I want. Yeah, I'm thinking, like, maybe, like, a front-facing kind of 3/4 angle thing going on. I may add the eyes later. I wish I could better explain kind of my process, which is part of the reason why I wanted to do drawing streams sometimes. Because I like the idea of explaining my process to people. Is that a freaking bot? Is that a freaking bot on my channel? How do I moderate you? Whatever. I don't care. I don't... Oh, thank you. I, like, don't know how to do anything regarding Twitch.tv. Like, I don't know how to ban people. I barely know how to promote people. Like, country girls make do, to be completely honest. If this is the entire length of the fight, I think I'm gonna move to the next song. Ooh, this is a good drawing song. Super chill. Speaking of games I've never played, I have never played Sonic 3D. I have a lot of these games. Like, I have Sonic, like a Sonic collection of some sort that has these songs. Or, these games on them. But I've just, like, I'm, like, kind of bad at playing video games, to be completely honest. Like, I don't remember to play them. I forget that I have them. All of that nonsense. I think I kind of want to do one of these. Like, I'm gonna rough sketch this expression out with a smaller brush, I think. I sort of want him to have, like, some kind of interesting goofy eyes going on here. Because this is, like, part of his personality, too. Like, he's not, like, an easy guy to get along with. He's kind of, like, difficult. And I would like to have that kind of more expressed in his art. He's a bad boy. That's kind of how I want to describe him. He's got bad boy energy. Which I will admit is a quality that I think is hot. In case anybody wanted to know that. But, like, bad boy is a gender-neutral word, in my opinion. You can be a bad boy and you are a girl. You can be a bad boy and not have gender. Like, I think, like, boy... boy and girl aren't necessarily gendered words to me. So if you ever hear me using them in, like, a neutral way or, like, incorrectly, that's why. Obviously, I don't want to offend anybody either, so definitely correct me if I say something wrong. But also, like, I am 30 or 40 years old, so there's gonna be, like, there's some learning that I will sometimes have to do. I'm, like, talking like I'm an old person, but, like, when it comes to, like, the Twitch community or, like, the online community in general, I do think I am an old person. I'm, like, a senior citizen in, like, the LGBT community. I think I might let him smile. I don't let him smile too often, but he's kind of being mischievous. He's always got to have... So he has symmetrical snaggle teeth, so his fangs will stick out on both sides, but I usually, when I draw him at this angle, I just kind of obscure one of those sides. Let's see. Alright. I'm gonna have to redraw his collar at a bit of a different angle. Let's see. And this happens sometimes with this character where it obscures, like, his head angle obscures the collar, a majority of it, but I still want people to know it's there. This is such a good song. The Drill Dozer OST. Drill Dozer is a game made by Game Freak. It's like Game Freak's B team, basically. From what I understand, the structure of Game Freak at this time, at least, was like they had like their Pokemon team and then their like experimental games team, and Drill Dozer kind of fell into the latter. Drill Dozer is a game that I've not actually played, but the music is so good. It's got like all of that Game Boy Advance Pokemon charm to it. Same composer, obviously. And it just uses like, I feel like the Game Boy Advance had some of the most interesting game music. Because it kind of walked that line between like chiptune, like I don't know, like 16-bit music is just like really fascinating to me. It's the kind of music that like if I got into composing, that's what I would try to develop with like that style in mind, in some capacity at least. I just like it, and I think that this OST is no exception, is the long and short of what I'm saying. Let's see. Oh, my friend is sending me cute art that I would like to look at. Alright. Sorry, I'm a little distracted by the cute art. Ooh. This is a good song. Anything Katamari is gonna be good, it just goes without saying. I'm actually surprised I don't have any piercings on this character. He seems like the sort of character that would, like, really work with the piercing aesthetic. I don't like how that looks. Alright. I think another part of streaming publicly, or drawing publicly, is it does also force me to, like, sit down and finish a piece. At least presumably. Like, I definitely want to make sure that I hold myself more accountable. Now, he is sort of a squat, short and squat guy. I have made him a little bit longer than I think I typically do. I might make his legs just a bit smaller. He's kind of got, like, Crash Bandicoot proportions. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So where he's got, like, kind of that Dorito shape about him. So he's got, like, short legs and a long torso. And now I just need to draw his tail. My whole goal, I may have mentioned this earlier and I just forgot. My whole goal with these streams, if I do continue to do them, is to be able to, like, kind of interact with people more directly when it comes to, like, art-related stuff. I might give him a chain. This seems like a chain sort of design. Like, I like the idea of doing, like, requests and those things live, because it gives me a chance to explore drawing different things than I typically would. But also, like, give somebody, like, maybe a piece that they like, of, like, a character they like or something like that. It just seems like a fun idea to me. And I don't always, like, want to take commissions either. There's a certain pressure being put on you whenever you're getting paid for a piece of artwork that, like, doing a request doesn't necessarily have, but you have to be in the right mindset to do requests. Like, a lot of artists don't do them because people kind of take them too far. At least, like, in DeviantArt culture, that's kind of how it went. Back in, like, 2006 on DeviantArt, people would, like, very specifically say, like, open for requests or like, close for request, open for commissions, that sort of thing, like, on their page. Because it was so common to have people just, like, comment on a drawing or on your like, main page, like, hey, I really like your style, could you draw this character for me, or something like that. And I think people just started to get so sick of it, that whoever, like, kind of popularized that trend of commenting, like, on their bio, like, is not taking requests right now, that sort of thing. That, like, really hit off for a while in terms of, like, DeviantArt's culture. I could talk about DeviantArt's culture like crazy. So I will go into, just because I feel like it, I'll go into a bit of my history with DA. It was the first website that I ever really, like, connected with people online on. I had, like, I mean, I'm, like, a 90s baby, so, like, I have experience with and without online. My time online mostly consisted of going on, like, Cartoon Orbit. It was this, like, Cartoon Network site that you would, like, collect stickers and stuff on. For some reason, I was really into it. But I didn't really, like, have a community. Like, there wasn't. It was a children's website, so it, like, wasn't made to communicate with other people. And it's definitely a good thing that I didn't have, like, too young of an experience talking to people online. I don't really know, like, the statistics on that either. I've heard stories, like, anecdotes from my friends about, like, how they had, like, been on a website that maybe they shouldn't have been. Not necessarily, like, adult content, but definitely not really for kids. And, like, kind of interacting with people that way, which isn't really the best thing to do whenever you're, like, 12 or 13. But I kind of get, like, the mentality of, like, wanting to explore those communities. Again, not encouraging it. Not that it's really as big of a thing now. Like, nowadays, I'm gonna stop hatching and actually start lining this thing. Nowadays, I feel like, I mean, I don't really have a pulse on what kids are doing these days, like, other than going on, like, TikTok, I guess. Um, but I have heard a lot of people say that, like, kids have, like, they're more likely to give away personal information more now. Like, web safety is much less encouraged than it was, like, during, like, kind of the infancy of the internet. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, because I don't have a pulse on what kids are doing. And I don't need or want one. I don't care what you kids are doing. Just be safe. Is kind of my long and short of it. But, like, DeviantArt, I feel like kind of walked that line between a website that was, like, kind of directed towards a younger audience, but also not. It was, like, essentially like a... I mean, it was an image sharing site, but it was, like, in the form of, kind of like a forum as well. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, per se, but it had communication features that kind of emulated, like, a blog or a forum. So, that being said, not necessarily the best place for children to be, for a few reasons. A lot of people in my experience, as, like, a girl online, my experience with that was, like, yeah, you would get some weird comments sometimes, but it wasn't super common for me, at least in, like, the communities that I was around. Which was mostly, like, people who were interested in video games and cartoons, which is a demographic that can really kind of go either way, depending on how socialized they are. And I'm not saying that to be mean, I'm really just saying that as, like, this is my lived experience, you know? And, like, I definitely attracted, like, probably young furries, too, because I drew a lot of anthro stuff, even before I, like, knew or understood anything about furry, like, as a culture. So, you know, I mean, my, like, primary interest... Oh, I'm gonna take a pause. Here's a thing that I do. Whenever I fill a space, I don't know if this is common or not, so you can use the magic wand, obviously everybody knows, like, hold shift and select multiple areas. What I like to do to make sure, because you'll see, if I just fill, it leaves little, like, bits like that, or, like, you'll see it more in, like, oh yeah, like on that. If I filled this black, you would see, like, all of these little bitty areas. And this is partially because I use textured brushes. So I typically will go to expand and expand it about 5 to 10 pixels. So you see now it's, like, in this. So it kind of covers up the areas that it wouldn't typically fill. And then when you fill, it is almost completely filled in. It is going to miss things from time to time. But it does help you get a more consistent fill. When using textured brushes, probably specifically. It's been a long time since I've committed to using a non-textured brush on any piece, so I truly cannot recall if this is a problem with non-textured brush filling. Be your own judge there. But yeah, it's something that I do quite often. I think a lot of people assumed, like, when I did lineless art for a really long time, and it's not that I'm done doing lineless art, but the screen tablet makes line filling, or, like, line drawing so much easier. So it's just made me, like, re-interested in this aspect of art again. But I will go back to more consistently drawing lineless, because it's just an art style that I like quite a bit. But I was using, like, fill tool that way as well. Like, I use it as a shortcut anywhere I can. I think the most important thing as an artist, like, using art programs, is make it easier. Like, make it as easy for yourself as you can. The artificial idea that art has to be this grueling thing, it's fake as fuck. And now, obviously, you know, when saying things like that, you start toting the lines into people who support AI art. I'll be upfront with this. My stance on AI is it should be used scarcely to assist art. When it starts creating its own art, that's something else entirely. Um, like putting in a verbal prompt to output a drawing, that is an AI creating something based off of something else. Like that's it's not the same. And art, in my opinion, is specifically a human thing. Yes, other creatures can make art, and art can be very specific to those creatures, but like we're not at a point where we can consider a computer a creature. So I don't say that it's an art form. But I do like when you look at like the Spider-Verse team used an AI assist for like expression work or like rendering work and stuff. That's so fucking smart. Like, yes, use that to assist your already existing abilities. And I think if you get too nuanced with that description, you will run into the people who say, well, I'm skilled in writing a descriptor. It's different. It's different. It's just different. I'm not smart enough to explain this correctly, but like, yes, people should be nuanced, but whenever you are like too broad with your definitions on certain things like this, you can get into like really dangerous territory. And like when I talk about like digital assisting and stuff, like you can see my cursor. I have a feature called stabilization on. Like stabilization on brush, like brush strokes. Like here's oh, well, I'm not on color. Like this is me drawing a stabilized line. You'll see that there's a bit of a delay from like when I stroke the line to whenever it actually outputs. Versus without stabilization, like it's verbatim my touch input. I would consider the use of stabilization a digital assist. It's not quite in the same way as artificial intelligence, but it's using technology to enhance your ability to draw. And like this kind of stuff is obviously okay. I obviously think that you should use things to your advantage. And if you can, like, if you find these sorts of assistance helpful, then you should use it. Especially if it encourages your ability to create. And I guess if you want to get, like, super specific with this topic, I'm sorry I'm, like, rambling about AI. I was talking about, like, DeviantArt before. I'm not even necessarily, and put a big asterisk in this, I'm not even necessarily against generative AI in a general sense. Whenever generative AI was like really starting to hit it big, stuff like DALL-E and shoot, what else is that called? DALL-E, I don't fucking remember. But there's like you'd put in, I mean, I think ChatGPT was a thing too. Like I think that's been a thing for a while. But you'd put in your prompt and it would source, like it wouldn't create its own work. It would mishmash the work of other artists versus like doing a Google search. Essentially, it's like a deep search engine that pulls the thing based off of like what you're saying. I'm super generalizing it, but that's like how it was. Like that's what it was doing. And so we would use DALL-E for fun. We would like make silly images with it or like little like kind of meme like things. Like for example, I'm pretty sure that Mr. Cheetah was an AI generated image. Not to ruin Mr. Cheetah for anybody. But I don't think that that's like I don't think that that's a necessarily bad use of AI to make like a joke or whatever. And it's like, are you really looking at this piece of work to say, oh my god, the way that they superimposed the mouse head on that body is just so amazing, versus like, LOL, silly picture of a mouse. Like, that's the kind of stuff that I just don't think it matters as much to be nuanced about AI usage, because it like just doesn't kind of fucking matter. But once it gets into like claiming things that, like claiming that this is mine, like I created this, or, you know, stuff like that when it comes to, like, AI usage, like, that's like, yeah, you didn't create this. You know, you told a computer smash together a mouse and a businessman. You know, that's not you creating the, like, you created the joke, but you didn't create the image. I hope that makes sense, and that I don't get canceled or whatever. But like, I just think there's a time and a place. There is a charm to a hastily made meme. I will not lie. Like, I respect a hastily made meme, because it kind of has an intrinsic humor of its own. And I'm not saying, like, I think that the future of memes should be AI generative, necessarily. I'm just saying, like, if it happens sometime, but, like, the joke still lands, the joke was what was created by a human. You know? And that's kind of how I look at it, and that's ultimately, like, what a meme is to me, like, by my definition. So, I guess the long and short of it is, like, at what point do you hold somebody accountable for usage of generative AI? In my opinion, it's whenever you start claiming. It's whenever you start making claims that, like, this is yours, you made this, etc., etc. Like, that's when I'm like, no. But, like, yeah. Anyway, DeviantArt. I'll go back to what I was talking about. So with DeviantArt, I had an account that I would scan in hand-drawn Kingdom Hearts comics that I would make. And they were, from what I understand, what I remember at least them to be, is they were definitely, like, not funny. But I thought I was so funny. And I sort of, like, created my own OCs out of the Kingdom Hearts kids. Like, kind of, I guess in the way that, like, Katie Tetrick took Smash Brothers and made, like, those awkward zombie comics with, like, Link, Marth, and Roy. Like, she took those characters and kind of just ran with them however she wanted to. And that was essentially, I was doing the same thing, obviously before knowing, but I was doing the same thing with Kingdom Hearts. That's why whenever I discovered Awkward Zombie, I was, like, enamored with her for a while. Just because I felt some sort of kindred spirit thing going on. Let's see how this looks so far. So this is it at 100%. It's coming out pretty good. And what I'll probably do is thicken up these lines out here to match this, but sometimes I do like the aesthetic of kind of, like, layered line art, like, kind of thickness layered. Oh my god, wait, Markiplier made points? I like that conceptually, like, I don't know, I just don't look at Markiplier as the kind of guy I would ever listen to for life advice. So I guess that makes me really curious. You're gonna have to send me that video and I'm gonna have to watch it. Because I want to see Markiplier spit some facts or whatever. Because really, like, my knowledge of him is, like, the silly FNAF guy. Like, that's what I know him from, is, like, being silly about, like, FNAF and mascot horror games, stuff like that. So I, like, really don't know the kind of, like, guy he is, like, in both, like, a literal way and a parasocial way. Like, I just don't know, like, how he interacts with his chat or, like, any of that stuff. I guess you could say I'm a little Markiplier curious. Because he is, like, a huge name on, like, social media platforms, or at least was. I don't know if he's, like, as popular now. But I guess I am curious to, like, why he got big. Because it wasn't even, like, with just a specific demographic, from my understanding. Like, everybody of a certain, like, younger age group seemed to really like Markiplier. I did not mean to make this, like, an entire subject. But, anyway. So, yeah, I would make these Kingdom Hearts comics. And I would scan them on my parents' scanner and post them on DeviantArt. And at the time, I was under the pseudonym, I guess, of not Rip Cheeto. I'm Rip Cheeto now. I was Roadside Friendly then. So Roadside Friendly, if you know about this lore, this is deep lore. Do I like the way this tucks in? Not really. So Roadside Friendly was something that I invented whenever I was a kid. Technically an original character in the form of a green armadillo. For some reason, I was obsessed with armadillos as a kid. And like really was like, I made the joke that I invented armadillos because I just thought that they were just like the perfect animal. That came directly out of my mind, I guess. So as a kid, I would often say that I created armadillos. And that Andy the armadillo at the Texas Roadhouse, is fake, and I hate him. Do I hate him now? No, but I definitely look at him and I think about our past. So Roadside Friendly was the name of a toy that I had won out of a claw machine at like a local diner, like around where I grew up. And it was this green, like, it was this fucking neon green sheep. I think it was a sheep. But it was like round in a way that made me start calling it an armadillo, I guess. And I don't really know. I think I just kept throwing him around. I was like playing with him out in the parking lot of the diner, and he kept falling into the road. And so I think that's where Roadside Friendly came up, because he's like a little friendly dude on the roadside. I don't know. I can never claim to understand the mind of a child, even my own mind as a child. But Roadside Friendly was my original character, and I used to have many like kind of original stories as a kid, like comic characters. I really wanted to be a comic artist. Am I going to color these black? I think I am. And I'll just redo how I have it wrap around his arm. Oop. That I do often. There we go. Yeah, so I'll just fix this part of it. Yeah, so Roadside Friendly was my pseudonym on DeviantArt. You may even still be able... I know you can Wayback Machine me from DeviantArt, but not as much as I want. I have since deleted the account, unfortunately. I was very self-conscious at a certain point in high school with my art, especially because, like, people I knew in real life started discovering it, like, mostly, like, my friends. And it was just embarrassing. Kids are mean, you know? So I deleted my DeviantArt and, like, deleted a lot of my original things that I had posted on there. And I would delete art often. So anything I thought was particularly cringe later or, like, whatever, I would delete it. So I did not have a very good, rap on, like, preservation of, like, historical preservation, I guess is how I would have put that. Ooh, this is a good song. God, this is like the song of my house, because it's like all about cats. But yeah, I posted those Kingdom Hearts comics for a while. Eventually deleted them. Started posting, like, original characters with two friends from, high school. They were these, like, wolf OCs, which we made, in quotations, ironically. You know, like, it's funny because having a wolf OC is the cringe thing babies do, apparently. So we made wolf OCs, and then, like, loved having wolf OCs. And, like, had, like, character reference sheets and stuff for them, and, like, they were, like, all they were, like, wolf friends. Again, originally made ironically. and yeah, so that was like kind of our thing for a while. I had two other friends who would post these Wolf OCs together on DeviantArt. And then from there, like, I don't really know how my art started branching out, but this was like about, I want to say like 20, I got a screen tablet in like 2007. Or not a screen tablet, it was like a regular drawing tablet. I got that in about like 2007 or 2006. So like I have drawings that are dated back to that, that I still have. Just kind of like things of me like learning Photoshop and all of that. Interestingly, my kind of segue into digital art was because of Emmy Ciceriga. So this is a deep, deep lore moment. So I was a Harry Potter fan as a kid. Boom, bomb drop, whoa. I am no longer a fan of it. I think that it's bad writing, like not even just like J.K. Rowling and her whole like ability to never shut the fuck up when she should. But I was a big Harry Potter fan as a kid. I saw the movies before I read the book. Like I saw the first movie, my sister had read. So after seeing the first movie, I went and read the books, and then I started keeping up with the books. So any person who was like online in any fandom space is probably, I mean, everybody knows what Potter Puppet Pals is, right? Everybody knows what that is. If you don't know what that is, I like don't know what to tell you, because I wouldn't say watch it because it sucks. Like it's super dated. But it's kind of like an if you were there, you were there kind of thing. And that was made by Neil Ciceriga. So Neil Ciceriga has a sister, Emmy, who I believe now is a storyboard artist. Yeah, I wish I didn't know what it was either. Emmy Ciceriga is a storyboard artist at Disney, like Disney Animation Studios. I don't know if she still is, but that's what she's doing now. Like she worked on a bunch of like Disney Channel cartoons. She worked on, I think she's working on Big City Greens. But she had worked on shoot, like Gravity Falls, the other one. What was before Gravity Falls? Anything? Whatever. But she's been working there for a while, from what I understand. So she was actually the person who my sister discovered as a digital artist through Potter Puppet Pals. So she kind of like looked into like screen tablets. She was the one who got us like a cracked version of Photoshop CS2. And I really think it was like because of LiveJournal. Because my sister was really active on LiveJournal, and so she started following Emmy there, and I think that's where like Emmy would talk about her like personal like usage in digital art and stuff. DuckTales, yes. That's because I think she started on DuckTales. I think? I don't know. I really don't remember what comes first between DuckTales and Gravity Falls. As like a fake Disney Animated Studio fan. Which I say extremely, like, I would never call myself a fan of Disney, but I am a fan of some of the things that have come out of Disney. And, like, the people that worked on those things, like, as individuals. Like, as an artist... Oh, okay. As an artist, if I was ever offered a job at Disney, like, yeah, I would take that. Like, even though I hate Disney, I would still take that job instantly. Like, just the kind of prestige of it. Even if I don't necessarily subscribe to that prestige, if I was offered it, I am not above saying yes to Disney. Anyway, I don't need to show my whole ass necessarily. So, anyway, So she used a Wacom bamboo, I think, like was one of the older lines of like Wacom brand tablets that came out. Um, and so she would talk about like the tools that she used. My sister would see that, and then my sister would say we should try and like convince mom and dad to get us a tablet, like as a Christmas gift or something. Which eventually they did. I truly do not know how expensive a Wacom bamboo was, like in the kind of early 2000s. This is a tangent I'm just going to deal with because I don't really care that much about it. Oh, right, I forgot the chains back here. So yeah, so we did get a Wacom bamboo. We still had a family computer at the time. Oh, you had one too? Nice. Yeah, like I feel like they were pretty accessible. Like I'm pretty sure my parents got it at like Best Buy or something. Um, but I learned how to draw on a cracked version of Photoshop, thanks to my sister, subsequently thanks to Emmy Ciceriga. Um, and from there, it was just like, that is just the way I learned how to draw. Like, I was obviously drawing before that, but once I learned about digital art, like, I was not turning back from it. So obviously, like, the vibe of a digital artist in that time period, I think, was kind of weird, because I think people didn't completely understand what digital art was. So there was, like, the kind of older people saying that it wasn't, like, it's not art. But it's weird to say that because you are literally drawing. And obviously people don't believe that now. People do digital art everywhere. Like in Hollywood and all of that. Like, they don't hand animate shit. As much as I do love the look of hand animation. Oh, this is a good song too. This is another Game Freak game that nobody knows about. You know, how is this looking? This is coming out alright. So this is usually the part in a drawing where I just like start tightening up the lines before I color. So this is a lot of what I'm gonna do for a while. But yeah, so that's kind of how I started to get into digital art and get onto DeviantArt. It was really just because of Emmy Ciceriga. Again, thanks to Potter Puppet Pals, which is just like kind of a weird confession to make. I'm sure I would have figured things out eventually, somehow, like with my other interests, kind of overlapping with art as a whole. But yeah. From there, we had our Wolf OCs, and I guess, like, just kind of via connecting with the right or wrong people in different situations, you experience different things online. So I started to get a little bit of popularity with young furries about my age, because I just did a lot of digital drawing. So I just started to get kind of good at it, like, for somebody my age. And I don't know, like, I wasn't, like, prolific, but I was decent. And that's how I met my friend Jay, because my friend Jay was also on DeviantArt, and he's about my age as well. And we just kind of connected over a shared experience in art. And this was, like, again, back in, like, 2006 or 2007. You know, it was, like, it's an incredibly long amount of time ago now. So it's just, like, really interesting to kind of see how, like, kind of how things lead to, like, one thing leads to another whenever it comes to, like, your experiences in life and how it shapes who you are. I know that's, like, me being fake deep, I guess. But for a second, I'm going to explain my process here. So after I finished line art, I will typically use the magic wand tool to select everything outside of my drawing. In this case, sometimes I'll include these little, like, dead space areas here that, like, don't really do anything for the piece. Other times I won't. But what I'm going to do with this drawing is Control-Shift-I to invert the selection. And then I am going to expand this by probably about 30 pixels to make a fun little outline. And this is just for, like, later, but you can see, like, as a PNG, like, it's going to have this fun little outline around it. And that's how I do my outlining. It's nothing fancy. And usually, just, like, based off of, like, my line art, it usually doesn't look, like, too out of place, even though it's not textured. What is this song? Oh, Dragalia. Kind of bangs. I don't think I was the one to add this song to this playlist, but I might have been. I played a little bit of Dragalia. I am going to pull up some reference colors for this character, because I don't really like to guess. Yeah, this song bangs. So I'm just going to pull up an old illustration of Metalhead that has his current colors. These are the colors that I'm using for him. So then I will just go ahead and... I'll get experimental after that. But I do tend to not really change a color scheme once I have it set. Sonic Eraser? Wait. Oh my god, not that fucking song again. I keep forgetting that's on there, and I've literally listened to this playlist while I'm driving, and, like, that fucking song comes up, and I'm just like, no. By the way, in case anybody's curious, I'm eating the, what are these fucking things called? They're like the Buc-ee's, like, air-fried... They're like cheese puffs from Buc-ee's. I don't know. They have a special name. And these are the spicy ones. And they're honestly banger. Okay. What am I going to start with? So, when I do colors, I'm incredibly, like... I'm not super picky about it. So I will just do, like, selection tool. Oop. I'll do selection tool and just fill. Then I will typically do my shading right now. Just because it makes it easier, because I'm already, like, thinking about this layer. So I usually do some light shading. And if I want to, like... how do I want to do this? Let's see. I'll, like, add or remove things later as I see fit with a piece. Like... I'm just not sure if I like this completely. I think I need this to be more square. Yeah, I think I just need to cut off that part of the eye. Yeah. Alright. So then I have my eyes here. Oh, I need to tighten that further. Oop. Wrong layer. Hee hee. Do I want it to cut through the pupil? Oh god, I thought this was the Siva Gunner version. Hold on. What if I do something like this? I do have the Siva Gunner version on a playlist that I'll probably use for streaming at some point for fun. I want to get more tracks on it, though. I, like, need to keep track of all my favorite Siva Gunner songs. So, am I putting a highlight on this? Does that make him look too pleeky? I'll keep it for now. And if I dislike it later, I'll just get rid of it. I should name this. I'm not always really good at naming my layers. You can't even see my layers because of the VTuber, but I do like try to keep relatively organized. Nothing crazy, but you know, just a little bit of organization. Like if I start to get like more than like 4 layers going, I'll start labeling them. At least label a couple of them. Otherwise, I do the classic thing that I assume everybody does, where they just flicker the visibility on the layer just to see what layer it is. I assume that we all do that, and that's a shared artist experience. Alright, so I will grab my fur color here and the shader. See, in this case, I may expand it. Oh, I don't think I expanded it at all. I'll do not 15. I'll do like 5. You don't really have to have it get too much under the line art in order to... Yeah. Unorganized bitches rise up. You don't really have to go too far under the line art layer in order to hide the kind of messiness of a fill. At least not the way I do it. But I am by no means a master or an expert at anything that I talk about. So don't get it twisted. I am going to kind of map out where I'm going to shade with this color. And then go from there and see if I like how it looks. They, like, did not have to go as hard on this soundtrack as they did. Like, this generation, like, this era of Sonic... Oh, is this not gonna work because I'm dumb? Yeah, that won't work. I did it the dumb way. Well, this is the dumb way. I'm just gonna shut stabilization off and just color the shit manually. Don't be me. Don't do what I do. Because it's definitely not efficient. I could probably... Do you think I think these colors are too similar, so it's conflating them. Can I change that? I actually don't know. Because I know there's, like... When you're making a selection of a color... Yeah, it thinks these colors are too similar. So, I think what I can do... Select... Is that not select? Oh, that might be a Photoshop feature. So Photoshop has a feature on selection tool where you can select similar colors. And so it will like kind of guess all the areas using that color that you've selected. But you can tell it to be very, very specific or like kind of broad. It just depends on what you're looking for. Holy fuck. This is a great song. Oh my god. I honestly think that's one of the best features Photoshop like had when it came to like tools as an artist, other than its alignment tools, which it took CSP, I'm sorry, CXP, I keep wanting to say your name, CSP developers forever to get alignment tools available, like on one of their programs. I don't know why. But Clip Studio Pro does have alignment tools, but I tend to kind of not... Like, ironically, now I've gotten used to not having them, so I just don't use them. But they are helpful, especially in, like, a graphic design world, which I unfortunately know a lot about. This song did not need to go this hard. Like... Wand of Gamelon was fucking cooking. It was cooking a lot of things. What is this? Oh, Bust a Groove. Since I'm not monetized, I don't give a fuck if I'm using music that'll get me in trouble. Because apparently, like, a lot of the Bust a Groove soundtrack gets claimed. Which I think means that the original artists own the works, which is really good. That's like an ideal situation for the artists to own their own work. Which I think, don't quote me on this, is the same thing with Nobuo Uematsu, which is why he has his like separate band that does covers of Final Fantasy music. Like that's his music. What do I want to do here? I'm not sure how I want this to be shaded yet. I might do one of these. I also like. I assume also everybody does this, except like smart people. Is I eyeball my lighting like 100%. I'm never truly thinking about light sources. I'm just like, well, this looks better. So I want to keep the shading or the highlight here. See if I like this or not once I zoom out. So I think what I want to do is... See, I said I'm not thinking about light sources, and then I'm like sort of thinking about light sources. Oh, this is fucking Pander's theme. This is like the fucking freak music. Here, hold on. I need to get a picture of Pander. Oh, he's so scary. Like... How were they allowed to do this? Here, hold on. Save image. Oh, it's a WebP. Ugh. Can I just copy and paste into OBS? No. It's absolutely not. Oh wait, I know what I can do, duh. Oh my god, he's got fucking Flowey on his head. I think I can just put him into Clip Studio since I'm already streaming that. So wait, copy image. There he is. Yeah. This is Pander. He's scary as hell. He's like super scary for no reason. I'm not like I didn't play Bust a Groove whenever it was like relevant to anybody's life. But I have since experienced it, and it's honestly so good. It's like super charming. I guess I'll leave him there for right now. Alright. I think that's all the shading I wanted to do. Which I don't mind how that looks. It's like super fudged, but who cares? I think I will do this. And then what color do I want these to be? I will just start also merging layers. I don't care about like organization in that regard. Let's see. Will this look good or bad? Don't like it. It needs to be darker. Yeah, that works. Did I color his, what color do I have his paw pads? Yeah, that's the same color. Okay. Alright. Oh, I think I accidentally merged Pander onto my colors. Yeah. Here. He can stay, but I'm gonna put him down. Alright. Ugh. I actually really liked the vibe of Risk of Rain 2. Like, I like the game. I'm kind of not good at it. Which doesn't matter. But But I just, like, remember very specifically being, like, just kind of, like, a little bad at remembering, like, what some items did and stuff like that. Because it doesn't, like, tell you. I don't really have, like, a huge experience, or at least didn't at the time, with roguelikes. Now I really like roguelikes. I like, usually enjoy the ones that I play. And I mean, I got, like, super into fucking Balatro and shit. Do I want to do... Yeah, do something like this to just give it a little depth or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't claim to know what I'm talking about anything. This song is super good. Like, this game's soundtrack is really good. That was, like, probably my biggest takeaway from, other than just the general aesthetic of it. Oh, I never shaded his head. Let me do that. I'm just doing all this on the same layer anyway, so it don't matter. I will probably color the lines, too. Like I've been kind of doing with my most recent drawings. Alright. It is going to be time for me to feed the animals kind of soon. It's a little bit earlier than I thought it was, actually. For some reason, I thought it was, like, almost 6 or 5 or something like that. Where's my mouse at? I probably shouldn't be doing... Oh my god, I'm dumb as fuck. Get the right damn blue. Oh. See, this is also another thing I do all the time, where I just, like, completely forget, like, a chunk of the character that's supposed to be colored. And then, like, as I'm shading, I'm like, wait a second. Like, that arm is supposed to be blue. Actually, like, I guess I should go without saying that I like the color palette that I've made for this character, or, like, any of my characters. But I actually really like Metalhead's color palette. This, like, particular... Like, because in Champions Online, his fur color was black. And this color that I'm using, this kind of, like, dark blue, I still sort of want it to give, like a deeper black. Like, if you colored him black, you would be correct. But if you colored him blue, you would also be correct. Like, that's kind of how flexible I am with the color palette of my characters. Like, as long as it works, I don't really care. As long as it works and it makes sense, and it's not, like, a disservice to the character's design. Which, actually, what I might do is just play around with colors on him, just for fun. Sometimes I just like to adjust the hue and see if any of, like, those designs, or even do, like, a gradient what is that called? Not gradient mesh. Gradient fuck. Correction layer. Gradient map. I was close. I might try gradient maps on him too and see if I like anything else on him other than his traditional colors. The kind of downside to gradient maps is that they're smart in that they, like, replace different areas. Why does this not have an image? This is a good song, but, like, it just don't got an image. Whatever. So, like, a gradient map will take up, like, each color swatch on the illustration. So in this case, like, it would overlay this blue with whatever it has set to, like, that same area. Like, I don't know exactly how it works, but it's limited to kind of like a predetermined color palette. And you're just setting your stuff to that color palette and seeing if you like it or not. You can make your own gradient maps, which kind of eliminates the problem I'm describing where I feel less ownership to the color palette whenever I use a gradient map. But I do like the experimentation. Is this Octopath specifically? Oh no, this is Splatoon 3. Haha. I really liked the campaign of Splatoon 3, even though that game kind of fell off. Like, do people still play Splatoon 3? It fell off way faster than 2 did. I think I can just fill this area. Yeah. I feel like, and I could be wrong as like a casual Splatoon fan, is I think there wasn't enough variety in Splatoon 3 to like differentiate it from Splatoon 2. At least in my experience with both of those games. 3 was an improvement to some mechanics in 2. I also just missed my girls. Full disclosure, I missed my fucking girls. So it made, like, I like, what are they called? Deep cut? I like them. And I think, like, adding, like, Splatoon Team Rocket is really fun. But they just weren't my girls. Oh my god, I have to play the DLC. I totally forgot. Is that still, like, $20? I can set up my Switch right fucking now. Like, I should buy that at some point. Because it will scratch the itch of the girlies and playing a roguelike. Alright. Do I want to add more shading here? Yes. Ooh. I kind of like how that vibes. I never fucking played this game. I don't even know. I, like, barely even know what game this is. I just, like, came across this song once and was like, the song kind of fucks. This is what I mean. I claim no ownership to this playlist and the fact that I have not played this many video games. Alright. Usually what I do with this piece is like, so it's like supposed to be like a metal, so I'm just gonna put like a little bit of a highlight on it. These, I might do the same thing, to be honest. Because I don't really think there's a need to invent a new color here. We'll see if I like it, and if I don't, then I'll just do something else. Like, I want it to have a kind of metallic look, kind of metallic reflective, which is why using this blue kind of works, I think. Alright. Let's see. Oh yeah, I should color this too. This part of the shading process is where I kind of like plus or minus on having stabilization on, depending on the vibe. Sometimes it looks better whenever the lines are just like a little bit rougher. Like a little less precise, I guess is how I want to say that. my objectively correct opinion on these things. You know, I grabbed these little Buc-ee's treats, not really because I was craving them, but because it was, like, the only snack food I have in my kitchen right now. And I've kind of been sleeping on these. Like, they are good. I'm actually kind of pissed that I didn't get the Splatoon 3 DLC for free because I was subscribed to Nintendo. But I guess they just weren't extending that to, like, the new titles. I think if they had at least offered one... Are there 2 DLCs for Splatoon 3 or just one? I don't actually remember. Either way, I think that should have come with my Nintendo Online, and it's, like, honestly fucked it doesn't. Do I want to do this entire lip? No. Maybe something like that. Because I still want the, like, illusion of fabric. And, like, shading on fabric without having to think about it too much. Alright. I think that's all of his colors. Oh, oops. Oh, fuck yeah. Ugh, now I'm gonna think about this game. Bayonetta 3 is incredibly unfortunate. I did not hate it, but it was incredibly heterosexual in a way that I did not enjoy. I forget... Yeah, I mean, that's basically how I feel. Because I liked the girl. I forget her name, but she's cool as fuck. But yeah, the ending was just like absolute dog. Yeah, Viola. Yeah, she's kind of fucking awesome. Alright, I think I'm gonna color these lines. Alright, let's do it. Oh, definitely do not want stabilization on for this. So, lately I've been liking to color just kind of around these colors here. Like, just to kind of have, like, have it stand out a little bit. It kind of helps the black stand out, too. I don't want to, like, say anything too fancy, but it might lead your eye a little bit. But don't quote me on that. I'm, like, not a professional. God, this song is so Paramore, it's insane. Like, they got that vibe down pat. But I don't make this shit perfect by any stretch. Like, if it's a little bit wonky and a little bit... If I zoom in and there's, like, parts that aren't right, I'm just like, whatever, it's fine. I think I'll color the whole shoe lines. Oh, do I want that, though? Do I want the shoes to be blue? No, I don't, actually. So maybe I'll just do this, like, a little bit. I'll leave the shoes. Because otherwise I'm going to have to do some stupid shit. And I'm, like, too lazy for that. Okay, this creates a little bit of visual weirdness with this. I might make this darker. Yeah. Oh, I know what I can do. Yeah. Okay. This works for me. Just to create a little bit of color difference here. Maybe, whoop. Tighten that up a little bit. I definitely want to change the colored outline on this, and I'm kind of wondering if I should... Oop. Alright, hear me out here. I'll fix this in a minute. Okay, now if I do that, and then change this one... Do I like this? I'm not sure yet. I could do something like this. Oh, I don't hate it. I think it's alright. But I do need to fix this a little bit. It's gonna bother the shit out of me otherwise. Oop, not you. Okay, I just need it to look a little bit nicer. Alright, that's better. I actually might add a little bit... I wonder if this makes it look shinier. Ah! I might leave this one as is. Oops. Okay. I might do something like... does that make sense? No. Oh, thank God. I've been waiting for a Guitar Man song to come on. I could very easily just put one on, but I'm not going to do that. Right. Now this part will be kind of fun for me. Because I do want all of his spikes to be light blue on the outside. And then I'll do this blue on the inside. Oop. That's why. Do I like this? I don't know. Do I like it more if it's... No, I would not like that. Okay, this is fine. I might be able to... No. Nope. Don't mind me, just talking to myself. That's like the whole thing. That's the whole joke. That's what I'm doing this entire time. Okay, I will make this... Because I don't use this dark blue anywhere else other than the paw pads. So at least to define his lip. And yeah, I could like be zooming more and being more precise with it, but like, it's whatever, man. It's all whatever. Oh no. What is this thing? um, I'm just gonna post the link to this. Unfortunately, we've all been there. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. Ah, this era of raids was very fun. I thought I was gonna do 14 fishing too while I did this, but I just didn't fucking feel like it. Which I think is the most valid excuse. I think I want it to be this. Speaking of, like, music that just absolutely whipped for no reason. I mean, I feel like that's just kind of, like, Soken's thing, is, like, writing bangers. But, like, damn, dude. His job must be really cool as a musician. Because I know, like, he's not the only person that has a say in the music in 14. But, like, he has such direct control over, like, the genres that he references and those sorts of things. Like, I'm sure they say, like, make a song that's kind of a vibe for, like, this sort of place or this sort of mood. But, like, you just get to experiment with different types of music, which I think is just really cool, like, from an artistic perspective. It's cool that, like, he got to write, like, a fucking, like, girl band prog rock kind of song. Just for the fuck of it. This song is so good. Oh, oops. I didn't realize how inconsistent that looked. Yeah. Maybe I will cut it like that. Okay. I will leave that black. That looks good. Oop. Alright. I don't remember why I didn't do 14 fishing. Oh, oops. I don't want to do that. Oh, I mean, I guess I said I didn't feel like it. Which is the truth. But also just, like, I didn't feel like managing fishing at the same time as drawing. And also, like, being, like, a little bit stoned and that sort of thing. Like, it's just kind of a pain whenever you're managing multiple things when you're high. And it's just, like, not worth it. If I can avoid it, I will. This is actually turning out really good, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fucking lie, it looks kinda good. Now, I don't think I want to do anything with his eyes. I could do something like that if I wanted. No, I don't want. His eyes need to be dark. Alright, let me keep working on this, because this is gonna take me forever. That's fine the way it is. Oh, that's kind of an interesting unintended effect of doing this. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it like that. Really has no business being that good of a song. No, I'm not in the mood for Mount Gold. Ooh. Yeah, okay. Alright. I can kind of fuck with Jet Set right now. Yeah, I think it's like this. Okay, I don't actually know if I like this color for this. I might leave that as is. Yeah, I'll do it like that. Oh yeah, I don't want to do that here either. Yeah, this is fine. I don't want to do that here either. Actually, I don't hate how that looks. It's a fun effect. Yeah, I'll keep it. Alright, is this all the lines I want to color? Oh, no. You know, I mentioned earlier about wanting to, like, if I ever, like, composed music. And that's, like, kind of a thought I've kicked around for a little while. Because I can, like, I can read music. I know what music is. But, like, composing is such a skill that I just don't know if I have. But then I guess I won't ever really know unless I try it. What is happening here with this line art? Do I like this? No, I don't. Actually, what I might do... Let's see. I might just... Would making them all the way blue... And I just tighten it up. That might not look bad once I fix it. Don't need to do it on that one. I might do this instead. Here's a game I've never played. I don't even know if people like Spirit Tracks or not. I feel like the one that came before Spirit Tracks kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. It wasn't a bad game, I just like didn't like what it was doing. Like the return to the same dungeon, but like now you can explore more. Like, I don't hate that concept, I just didn't like that game. Ugh. Iced tea is exactly what I needed. Alright. I guess what I don't know if I want to do is color these lines. Oop. It would help if I did that. Like maybe a little bit. Like they can be a little bit colored, but not crazy. And it's like such a similar dark blue. Oop. Not that. Not like this. That it's like barely noticeable anyway. Oh, that'll look good on the inner color, though. Oh, you will super be able to notice it here, which means I should do it. So it's gonna differentiate these lines just a bit better. Yeah, I think that looks really good. Alright, well, I'm mostly done this one. I will still play around with colors like I said I would. Just for the fuck of it. And then I'll probably do maybe a little bit more. I will, like I said, I will draw whatever anybody else wants, but I understand that nobody wants to tell me what to do because I'm the boss. So, either way. I have a little bit of time before I have to feed the animals, so they might start meowing, and I will feed them soon, so don't worry. I'm not super strict on their time. I try to feed them around when they start feeling hungry, because I genuinely think that is a more natural way to feed an animal. I get having time constraints, because real life has time constraints. But even you, as an individual... Oh, this game fucking rules. You as an individual don't always eat at the same time every day. You should be eating when you're hungry. And yeah, they crave the cereal is what it is. They fucking love the cereal. But yeah, like you don't eat at the same time every day at exactly the same time. So why should your animal? Like, they're going to naturally be hungry about 2 to 3 times a day, depending on their age. So, like, as you shouldn't force yourself to eat if you're not hungry, you shouldn't, you know what I mean? Like, I hope that makes sense from, like, an animal care perspective. So I try to feed them, like, at around a consistent time of day, but not always at exactly 6 o'clock or exactly 5:30 or something like that. Because I just think that's a little bit silly, personally. Alright, let me play with colors. Let's go ahead and switch to the mouse. And... layer... correction layer... gradient map. Oh, you can't see any of my menuing. Okay. Let me put this here. So this is the kind of cool shit gradient maps can do. Ugh, this is so fucking sick. Damn. Hold on, I'm keeping this one. Because I really like it. The purple on the line art against the white is really fucking cool. Oh, here, let me just grab these things, put them in a folder real quick. Let me put this in a folder also and put it in the correct spot. Oh yeah, I can also do this, where I put a gradient map over just the lines. So this is one of my favorite ways to experiment with colors. If you're not very good at like coming up with your own color schemes, which I understand, and I'm just gonna duplicate that folder so that way I can keep playing with it without losing this one. Whoa, and sometimes you get wild shit like this. Yeah, like, this is really cool. This is, like, really kind of Game Boy Color, sepia kind of shit going on. Like, super, super cool. And it can, in my opinion, it can help inspire new color schemes. Or color schemes you just wouldn't have thought about before. Like, this looks amazing. I think this looks really, really good on him. And it's the sort of thing that, like, I would theoretically consider using. But I'm gonna keep going. Oh, did I click that one already? Yeah. And sometimes they're just completely bullshit, like this. This is fucking awesome. Oh, dude, this is sick. What it's doing with some of the accent colors is weird. This one's almost good. This one's really cool. Like, truly just kind of helps organize your color thoughts and give you an idea of, like, what vibe you want your... Not Zenless Zone Zero. Not Zenless Zone Zero. Let's see when this becomes a song. Oh, I know this song. This song does whip. Ooh, this looks really cool on him. I'm hanging on to this one too. It's like kind of giving like Silent Hill 3 positive, but also a little bit like emo core. That's what I want. I kind of really like this one too. I like this as well. Like, I really do like mono colors on him. Like kind of more analogous colors. This is really good. This is kind of what he already is, just a little bit brighter. So these are downloaded color schemes. Like I got these, and I don't know where. So I can't help you. Okay. I think this is the other one I wanted to keep. This one's really cool, but... Alright. So. I've saved 3 of them. Where are they? Okay. I'm doing some like Andy Warhol screen printing shit. I don't like this one as much now that I'm seeing it. It's cool, but I think having the lighter blue on the darker blue is not working for him. I think these 2 are the best ones. The thing is, I also just like his original. Maybe that's what I'll do with this layer. I'll just go ahead and get rid of that. Yeah. Well, here's Metalhead. I've drawn him. I've drawn him 3 times. All right, I'll put these guys back. There. Okay. So this will be his regular colors, right? Yeah. Oh wait, no, I deleted the wrong one. Shoot. Yeah, I want this one. Man, fucking whatever. Whatever. I lost my fucking layers. I'm tweaking. I'll go ahead and export this and save this. Ooh, good track, good track. Ugh, I miss Ichiban. Ichiban is like a woman's man. You can explain to me what that means. And this is what I mean. I'm not putting a fucking background on it. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fucking shit. Alright, well, I might stop drawing, because I'm tired, and I want to take a break. Unless somebody wants to rapid fire right now in this minute, give me something to draw. Then I'll probably wrap up. But I'll give you a minute to think about it. As I save this and post it and all of that good stuff. You want me to draw Polly? Okay. I'll have to pull up a reference. Alright. I've got this saved. I will actually save the clip file as well. Just to have it in case I ever want to mess with the colors again. Alright. So Metalhead's saved, so I'll go ahead and throw him into the garbage. Oh, but I guess it is cool to look at, like, kind of like where it is versus where it was. Uni! I didn't put this on here, did I? I might have. Anyway, just kind of looking at the individual pieces of a piece after you're finished it. I sometimes like to look at the sketch next to the final, just to kind of see if you like how it's like turned out after rendering it. Because a lot of the time, I like my sketches more than my finished pieces, and I've just recently decided that that's unacceptable. So I've started doing a little bit more comparisons to make sure that I like the direction that a piece is going before I like commit to it. Alright, I'm gonna move these boys. I will probably have to put a reference to this character up on the screen for me, because he's not mine. Let me pull him up real quick. Oh man, I am gonna get this. I have this on notification. I'm absolutely getting this. I'm gonna leave him up because I actually think this is a good reference of the character. I'll take a couple different angles of him. Let's see. Go ahead and grab a couple different polys. He's on the fucking villains wiki. I don't know if I would consider him a villain. He's a little bit of a victim of many things. Oh no. This art's so cute. This is on Instagram. This is somebody else's art. So like, I'm not claiming this as reference. This art is incredibly cute. This is like a low def version of it, but it's super, super cute. Hoof. Just thinking. Anyway, I can probably work with these two, and get more later. Alright. So, drawing from a reference, which is basically cheating as an artist, am I right? I knew somebody who used to think, or I hope that she doesn't feel this way anymore, but used to think that referencing, like, anything when drawing was cheating. Which is just so interesting to me, because you're constantly referencing. You know, you shouldn't have to recount your ability to have something memorized, or your particular, like, your memory's vision of this thing be, like, your only reference. Like, whatever you think of. What I should be doing, hold on, I'm gonna draw Polly from memory, and then I'm gonna draw him with reference, and I'm gonna prove a fucking point. This is a good song to prove a fucking point to. So I have cheated a little bit now since I've looked at my reference. But I have the reference off screen now, so I'll go ahead and draw Polly how I imagine him in my mind. Which actually might make me look more confident, which is kind of an interesting psychological aspect of drawing. Like, maybe I'm more confident in whatever's in my own head versus, like, trying to draw exactly something else. If that makes sense. Does he doesn't have mono eye. He has, like, little... no, he has, like, those, like... He has, like, these kind of eyes. But he also has, like, hair. But see, this is gonna look completely off from, like, Polly, his actual design, because I'm just doing this from memory. And that's okay. Like, I don't think there's a right or wrong way to make art, I guess is essentially what I'm saying. Which means that, like, from your mind into, like, creation and, like, you making it with your own hands, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Disclaimer, I've already had my conversation about AI art. Don't make me have it again. I like that Polly is, like, a jovial fella. He's truly, like, a mascot of a corporation. He looks something like this. His hair is black. He wears a shirt. He has a round belly. And I remember he's got those, like, Mickey Mouse shoulders. There's, like, half bells. I don't remember what's on his shirt, or, like, if anything's on his shirt. I just know he wears, like, a little, polo shirt. Alright, let me clean this sketch up a little bit. Alright. This is a good DDR song. Anything from DDR Supernova and Supernova 2 are good, pretty much. He kind of looks like a donkey. And maybe this is my particular bias against horses and for donkeys. I'll put some hair over here. I'm sorry, I'm just not the biggest horse fan, but I like Polly. Like, horses as an animal. Does he have Mickey hands? Like, he probably has 4 fingers, right? Which means that this hand is now wrong, and I need to add another finger. Not that it matters. Okay. And then I'll do this. And from here, I think he's just got, like, little... I'm not listening to this song. Oh my god, I'm not listening to this song. Well, now I get to pick. No. No. Yes. I don't know how I want him to be standing. Kind of like a silly guy. Does he have shoes? I don't remember. If he does it like Sonic style, where he like has shoes but no pants on. And he has these like kind of silly cartoon feet. I don't remember if he's got shoes on or if they're just hooves. Maybe they are hooves. Maybe they're hooves. And then his little tail. So this is probably from memory. This is how he exists in my brain. Oop. My tablet disconnected. Now I will draw him with reference. And I will just use what I had already started earlier. I wasn't too far off. I think I kind of amped up his like cartooniness. Does he have flat hair? Or does this... Well, okay, in the drawing they have texture on it. But I probably went a little overboard. Alright. So now I will draw him with reference. I think I got it kind of close on the eyes. And when I draw with reference, I definitely spend more time. Ooh, this is a good song. He's kind of pleeky. He's kind of pleeky adorable. I mean, I already thought Polly was adorable. Okay, so the way that the plushie does it is he has a V, but it's like kind of rounded. Yeah, it's like that. I think I made it. Oh, that's probably why he looked like a fucking donkey. I made his ears way too big. There we go. He looks like a horse. He has like kind of a Lucario nose thing going on with his mouth. Like his... This is kind of giving like mascot vibe. Oh, he does... Oh my god, I got tricked by the plushie. In the game, he doesn't wear gloves? But I guess in some of his art, he's got gloves. Is this right? Did I pull the correct reference? Let me see. Oh no, he definitely has gloves. That's weird. In all of the poster art, he's got gloves on. Huh. Well, whatever. I'm gonna draw him with the gloves on, in case anybody's curious. So, according to this picture... Let me see if I can pull this up. According to this picture, he's got a bit of a lip thing going on. His body is shaped a little differently than I remember it being. Let's see. So he could have a little lip thing. Do I like that though? Oh, am I on the wrong layer? I sure am. See, I'm not above flashing the layers. Let's see. Maybe this is closer to what I'm looking for. Because he does, like... He does look like a little... Like, a little creepy. He's got that, like... He's a little bit spooky. But, like, not in, like, a Freddy Fazbear way. Okay, and then he does have, like, a regular horse mane. Do I want him to be winking? I might want him to be winking. Yeah. I'll figure out whether or not I like that mouth in, like, a little bit. I don't know if I've committed to it yet. Okay, so... His body is kind of... He's got that, like, bottom-heavy thing going on. Polly's junk in the trunk. Now, this is where his sleeves come in. Good song, good song. And I'll have him with his hat. Good song. I kind of wish the plushie had a little hat in his hand, but it makes sense that he's got the mouthwash, so... Sort of want to redo this eye. Actually, I think that might have solved my problem. I didn't like the glisten. Alright. Okay, and he doesn't have shoes. What do I want to do with his legs? His hoof situation is kind of weird. He's got kind of like Rocco feet. Like, Rocco's feet are like kind of like little buns. And I'm not really sure like what they're supposed to be. I think they're shoes. I think they're supposed to be shoes, but not for Polly. See, now I'm starting to not like the mouth. I think it's getting too cheeky. I think I want him to be cute. I refuse to let him look like a mascot horror character. I know I, like, in my mouthwashing stream, I, like, joked that Polly was mascot horror, but I was absolutely joking, and I would never say that about mouthwashing. Me, the mascot horror hater. I don't actually hate mascot horror, I just think that it's, like, been very overplayed at this point. Oh, I'm gonna overlap with my other sketch. Oops. Okay, you go somewhere else. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like this face for him. I definitely want him to be cute. I don't want him to look scary. But yeah, my ass is like gonna buy that plush instant the moment it comes out. I have notifications set on, like, tell me when I can get my guy. Alright. I was pretty close on his shirt, like with the little polo button-up collar thing. There. That's alright. But I guess what I'm saying about reference is, like, use reference. But if you don't want to, that's fine. I just don't think, like... It's just weird to think that it's wrong to reference something when you're drawing it. And, like, here's my full disclosure on art. Sometimes you're gonna trace. And I'm not saying, like, yes, tracing is good and we love it. I'm saying that, like, everybody in their artistic history has traced at some point. And it's okay to use tracing as a learning tool, I think. Because you're building muscle memory. You know, you want to draw something a certain way, even if that is like another artist. I understand using tracing as a learning mechanism. And maybe it's like, I really like how this artist draws this character. I want to draw similarly. I don't think that it's wrong to trace their work. I think that it's wrong to say that you didn't. Or to publish work that is traced, and then you're like, that's mine. I made that. Like, no, somebody else made it, and you were using it for dubious reasons in that case. Do I want his belly to be... Or do I want his shirt to be longer? These are the questions you gotta ask as an artist. But, like, I do also think that socially, like, there is an element of gatekeeping that happens in artistic communities. And it's undeniable. And it's not something that's just happening now by any means. It's just honestly easier to... My foreshortening's kind of fucked up on this. It's just kind of easier to make your opinion known, I think is what I really want to say. So, like... Oops. Gosh dang it. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Just want to remove that piece. But yeah, I think that expression has become easier, which is kind of a double-edged sword. Yeah, I think I want something like this. I'll just tighten up the edge here. Good song, by the way. All of my songs on this playlist are good, but you know. This is a good fucking song. This is a choice of all time song. Okay. Like, yeah, there's a lot of 14 in this playlist, but look, brother, it's good music. Okay, I just have to... I'm not gonna stress the perspective too much. Because, like, he's a cartoon. It's whatever. Let's see how I want to do this, because I still want it to look kind of toony, but I don't want him to lose, like, all definition in his arm. I guess I can kind of do it the way they have it in this picture here. Okay, that makes sense to me, and I'll clean that up when I outline, which I will outline this one. I won't outline my from memory one, because I do truly believe this one's better. I miss grinding Emerald Weapon. Emerald Weapon was a very, very good fight in Final Fantasy XIV. Alright. I can go ahead and move Metalhead. Oh, let me go ahead and post him online. Alright. Just give me a minute. Man, maybe I'm just gonna give up on tagging my Blue Sky Art account pictures. Because, like, tagging's kind of a fucking pain. But I don't wanna tag them. I'll do it. As long as I have a key on my account, it doesn't matter how I tag them necessarily either. I'm being a little evil drawing Metalhead and linking it to my stream because I know Metalhead's not most valuable character. He's my most, like, beloved character. Everybody likes him. He gets numbers. He's actually still actively getting numbers from my last drawing of him. Alright. I'm just making a cross-platform post real quick. Alright. Is this actually a link? Hyperlink, yeah. Oh, wrong account. I do still post to Tumblr because I really like Tumblr. Sorry. Sorry, but I really like Tumblr. I watched, the Strange Aeons video about, DashCon 2. And honestly, such a good video. I really, really could not recommend it more, especially if you were on Tumblr, at pretty much any point in time. Like, I think it really does showcase the desire for those sorts of, like, fandom spaces still exist. And it doesn't, like, it's okay to be cringe. Tumblr taught me it's okay to be cringe. Alright. I've got my sustenance. Time to do line art. Now, something I was thinking with this. So, the way that these are drawn, very thin lines, very, what's that guy's name? Ken Sugimori-ish, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Oh wait, this is fucking Blue Dragon! This is awesome. This song's awesome. I like can't talk over this. Alright. I will continue, I swear. I I have to change the song. I like won't be able to focus. Okay, good. Good focus song. Alright, let's get lining. Yippee yahoo. Let's fucking go. Alright. So I guess my question to myself is, do I want to do thin lines? Which I think I should, even though I hate doing thin lines, but it respects the source material. So I'm gonna try thin lines. And we'll see how it goes. Now, part of my reason for not liking thin lines is what you'll see. I like to make my line motions in like one go. And I don't always have that sort of luck whenever my lines are thinner, because they're harder to clean up. And maybe that's just like an excuse that I make to tell myself that I don't want to do thin lines. But that excuse works all the time on me, so... Okay. And he has those, like, sorta... I think they do, actually, at the tip of the ear. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Uh-oh, the cats are starting to smack stuff around. And depending on how far I get on this, I may finish this off stream, because I do want to finish it. I think it would be nice to make an actual homage to this game, because it's really, really good, and it kind of blew me the fuck away. And you don't really get experiences like that with media all the time. I know that, like, sounds dramatic, but, like, you truly don't. It's like... And I hate to use Undertale as an example, but it's like, you could only experience Undertale one time, you know? And Undertale is considered one of those, like, video game masterpieces. Like, I truly, truly think that if this game doesn't get, like, in some sort of, like... It doesn't get some sort of award, then it's been, like... We have let it down as fans of this media, or this game. I don't know what I'm saying exactly, but, like, I just think it deserves praise. And I really, really liked it. Even though it does have a lot of subject matter that I truly was not expecting to... Oh, this circle is gonna fucking kill me, isn't it? Oh, God. Oh, what if I do this? Because this started to actually turn out okay. Can I really do Ghouls and Ghosts right now? Not really. No. Yes. I forget exactly what I was saying. But I also feel that way about Judero. Not quite to the same extent. Like, I think mouthwashing hit me harder than Judero did, but Judero is a very good game. And I do truly believe that it should be more popular, or, like, more known than it is. Ugh. What if I do this in color? That way I don't have to worry about that line. One of the best things about being an artist is you can just do whatever the fuck you want. Like, if I say, I don't really feel like doing that line, I don't have to, because it's my piece. Maybe that's why I didn't like professional art. Because then I was getting told what to do. How do I want to do this? I have to, like, fudge the perspective a little bit. Okay, that might have been my line. If I can clean this and make it look half decent. I mean, the good news is the way that the official line art's done is actually, like, it's pretty, like, light and loose with its line art. It's okay that it's a little bit messy, which I really, really like for it. Mine's probably going to be a little bit cleaner than the official art, just because that's how I draw. I kind of have a hard time playing fast and loose with my line art. Oh boy. That's too small. Can I work with this? I'm causing myself problems. There. Oh, God. Do I want this filled? I'm probably gonna do it the same way they do it. And a lot of, like, zooming in will help me see some of my blemishes in my line art. I know that goes without saying. But it is a good reminder that you should zoom out occasionally. Just look at your piece. Check it out. Okay, I'm gonna tidy that. Oop. Yeah. Alright. I hope... Let's see. I want to make sure that I'm getting his, like, cartoon proportions down mostly right. This is what I'm afraid of with this lion. Yeah, I want it to be very round, like, really going for that Mickey Mouse glove kind of look. Okay. That's just about what I'm looking for with that. Let's see if I like that being that way. I don't think I do. Oh, too much. Alright. I feel like a lot of art and illustration also comes down to what you are willing to fudge and what you can get away with fudging where it doesn't look fudged. I feel like there's a lot of, like, element of fake it till you make it whenever it comes to artwork that you're, like, personally happy with. Okay, and I just want to make sure that I remind myself that his body is going to overlap here. I've definitely caught myself, like, not following my sketch because I get so in the zone that I start, like, kind of winging it in a way that's, like, not actually helpful. And then I'll, like, look back and be like, oh, no. Like, that's not it at all. And actually, what I might do here, I might copy this line. Just because these, like, cartoon dudes with these tube hands always have, like, very symmetrical curvature on the arm. So, like, whenever it isn't symmetrical, it looks obviously wrong. So I may end up doing that for all of his limbs, just to make sure that I keep with the style at least decently so. So this isn't going to line up exactly with my line art, or with my sketch rather, just because of the way that I've chosen to do this. There. Alright. Now, word of warning, when you copy and paste lines, if you do any sort of adjustment on it, like let's say I copy this piece and I want it to be a little thinner, it's going to change the density of the line. You know, if you make it bigger, it's gonna be fatter like that. They're not vector, I guess is what I mean to say, which everybody should already know, but it's just it can be frustrating whenever you like what you've done with a line and you can't verbatim copy that onto your piece the way you want. If that makes sense. Oops, not you, not you, not you. Okay. Just want to get nice edges. I may make this a little bit longer too. I think that's part of what's missing here. Oh, this is an interesting song to get. Yeah, I think this will look better with his longer. I can fill this. Just go ahead and fill it. That way I'll get his mane done. This is gonna be a tricky shape to get right. Okay. That wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It's not perfect. There's a little bit of edginess right there that I don't love. But I think I'll live. Yeah. I think this is what I want. And then what I'll do... I'm just going to copy this line again. Is this going to work the way I want it to? I think I'm going to have to finish just because it's not long enough to do it on its own. Okay, and then he's got his wrist kind of at an angle, so that shouldn't... Ooh, I love this song. I miss Fire Emblem Three Houses. I miss Edelgard, specifically. And maybe, not only, I liked a lot of the characters from that game. Alright. And not that I really expect to get any, but I will always answer art-related questions. Do I like this? Yeah, I don't mind it. Actually, I don't like how this is bending. Oh, I was hitting the wrong button. Alright. It's not gonna be perfect, and I am okay with that. I don't think I've ever drawn something that I'm like, ah, this is perfect. Literally never. Has never happened to me. Do I want to make his fingers longer? I'll see. I'll finish up the arm and see how I feel about it. I think it's alright. It's a little small, I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to... Okay. I think this works. And I'll just... I guess I'll do his tail last, because I kind of want to see how it's going to interact with the rest of the body. Alright. Get the Rocco feet down right. I'm gonna color this in. And I'm not going to do the kind of... I don't know. I'll see how I feel. I say that a lot. I can always edit the line layer to add a little bit of that gradient on there. I thought I was going to be able to get it in one. Nope. I have to get it in two. Do I like that? Let's see. Almost. It almost works. And I will sheet these lines so that they're straight. This is a good song. My dad had this game called Quartet, which was originally a cabinet game. It's a 4-player cabinet. I'm gonna make a new layer here so I can fuck this up a little bit. But whenever they ported it to the Sega Master System 2, which is the console my dad had, you could only play as 2 characters because there were only 2 controller slots. So it's the irony of a game called Quartet, and you could only play as half the fucking quartet. Oh, I don't like this leg. I'm gonna have to redo this whole leg. That's the power of zooming out, baby. Alright, let's redraw it, because that's part of the problem. Like, they would never be brave enough to call that game Duo, because it was no longer the quartet. Okay. I can work with this. Okay. I don't know if I want to do the coloring today or if I'm gonna like do it later. I know I like sort of alluded to finishing this off stream. And I think I might, just because it's getting close to feeding time for everybody. Both my guys and my foster kitties and all of them need to be fed. And I'd like to spend more time with the kitties today. I had friends over last night, so they got a little bit more socialization than normal. But I'd like to try to give them as much time as I can, just because I want them to grow up to be very socially minded cats. A problem with the way that people raise cats is usually that they don't socialize them with other humans or other animals enough. Because cats are very solitary, so they don't necessarily need that social development the way dogs do. But they do actually need it, and you should socialize your cat with other people and other animals and anything that you think is going to be in that cat's life. Let's finish his hair. So that's what I've been trying to do with these babies, like get them handled a lot, like make sure that they aren't scared of people, or dogs or other cats, which incidentally I just happen to have both. Let's see. Good song. Now what I might do is just play around with the idea of doing watercolor. Can I... Okay, so why isn't this working? Now it is. There we go. So, I'd like to try and emulate this a little bit. I'm probably gonna clean this up a little bit. I think I might add more white than I'd like, and then touch it up again with the black. Let's see if this does what I want it to do. And I will just experiment with the brushes that I have. I rarely download new brushes these days. Like, I'm kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I'm not really seeking a new way to create right now. Whether that be a good or a bad thing, I don't know. Do I like this? No, not that. Let's see if I have anything better. Textured blender. I don't need a blender. Oh, this might be it. I don't know. That might be a little too rough. The goosh. The goosh must be nice. This is also a little too heavy-handed. I might go over this with that watercolor again. Weird. Let's see. Watercolor splash is what this is called, which it truly is. A watercolor splash. Still don't know if I've committed to this even at all, to be completely honest. I might have to do this on the entire piece, like kind of go over the line art a little bit. Here, let's get rid of the sketch. Just to kind of give it that slightly worn look that the poster art has. We love to hear Guitar Man. Okay. This is, yeah, this is closer to kind of what I was thinking. I think I just want this to look a very specific way that's kind of hard to achieve. At least for me. So this is kind of what I'm thinking about doing with the colors as a whole on this. I'll leave that. So the way that I have taught myself to do watercolors, or like something imitating watercolors, that's something that was a little bit easier with Photoshop, to be completely honest. But I will select everything that's going to be approximately the right color. I will just color drop it off of him, and then adjust from there. So I want it to be a little bit... Oop. Okay. So then his muzzle... I will go ahead and paint in. Do I want to do it this way? Let's see. Oh, actually, this may be perfect. So I definitely need something softer. I don't really like the way the edge on this one. But it's doing what it needs to do. Alright, and with this, it's actually pretty okay if the colors aren't precise, because it kind of fits the style. I just don't know if I'm going to commit to this or not. Alright, let's see. Ooh. I might have to end the stream after this song. This is a great one to go out on. Miss Pac-Man. I have also been streaming for like a couple hours, and that's honestly longer than I thought I was going to. So I'll probably wrap up in a little bit. I just kind of want to nail exactly what I'm thinking before I call it on this. We love Miss Pac-Man. Alright, get a little bit of the shading going on. And sometimes I will just like map out kind of what I'm thinking and then not actually end up doing that. Just kind of depends. Okay, wait, why is this being funky? Okay, it is the same color. For some reason on that brush. I don't want the shading to be this hard is the problem. Oh, I gotta wrap up. Alright, I'm actually gonna put a pin in this and probably finish it up off screen at some point. But I ought to go feed my animals and do all of my regular life things. So thanks to anybody who showed up and enjoyed hearing me ramble or hated it. I respect that you gave me publicity in any capacity, positive or negative. um, anyway, I'm gonna get wrapped up. And I hope to continue to do more art streams in the future just because I think it's very fun. And it also forces me to draw. Anyway, bye bye.